I'm assuming that if you clicked this video, you know what I'm talking about when I mention the health triangle. But in case you don't, the health triangle is basically a measure of all aspects of health, which is meant to help you determine how healthy you truly are. The three sides of the standard health triangle are physical, social, and mental health. I wanted to talk about how this correlates to the life of an athlete, and for that reason this video is going to be focused mostly on the physical and mental sides of the traditional health triangle. However, we're going to get juicy with the details and basically create our own health triangle. This is more or less your guide to become the best athlete you can be from a person who some would consider no more than a fitness junkie, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But with that aside, let's get started. We're going to go over the physical stuff first, because in this case it's more obvious. Starting with your skill training. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to practice your craft. It's probably more important than everything else I'm going to talk about. If you're skilled enough, nothing else really matters. Steve Nash is a great example to point to. Nash was a great NBA player, but I don't think the guy could even dunk. He wasn't fast, he wasn't big, he couldn't jump high, but he knew the game of basketball and how to play it better than pretty much anyone else. From a skill perspective, he could do whatever you needed him to, and he experienced great success on a professional level. So perfecting whatever your craft may be is important, and it's something anyone can do. It's completely in your control how much you put into the side of our little triangle, of all sides for that matter, and you will get something out of it no matter what. You don't need natural talent to improve or to become great. You need confidence, you need willpower, and you need to put in the hours. But an equally important physical step is training your body, and this is something I heavily overlooked for the majority of my playing days. I started working out in my freshman year, and maybe a year ago I started working with a family friend and a former D2 athlete who does some personal training on the side. When I started, I wasn't exactly trying to get stronger, but more to build my body and help with injury. And while this process can take a lot of time to pay dividends, it is 110% game-changing. I used to barely be able to get out of bed after a 2-hour hoop session. Now I can go 4 hours virtually pain-free while adapting to a more athletic play style. I haven't had a serious injury since the end of my freshman year. Just in general, exercise will help you across the board mentally just as much as physically. So hit the gym, do cardio, lift, do plyos, calisthenics, just do something, and stick with it. It can take months to see significant progress, and it can be hard to keep believing that what you're doing is right. You just have to trust that what you're doing is working, and it'll all come together with time. But let's move on to the mental side of our triangle. Having the right mentality in sports and in literally anything else is everything. And there's a lot of ways you can go about this. I'm not some super spiritual guy or anything like that, but I do meditate and it does help. I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions about meditating. It is nothing like how it's portrayed in movies and TV or whatever. You're not awakening some third eye or something, you're clearing your head so you can lock in on whatever you need to focus on. There's no real right way to do it either. Whatever works for you is fine. For me, that means sitting in a dark room, and that's the extent of it. I don't burn sage or do that dumb hand gesture or annoying ass hum thing you see in media all the time. I sit on the floor, close my eyes, empty my head, and that's it. Literally doing that for as little as 10 minutes a day can make a difference. Obviously, that's not everything. You gotta be right when you get in the game. One way to do that is to keep up the pace. If you watch my one-on-one video against Dave, he blew me out of the water in that first game because my shot was ice cold and I wasn't there on defense. He was giving me buckets. But the next 3 games, it wasn't even close. I was cooking. I even started hitting my jumpers again. You wanna know why? The only change is that I cranked up the intensity on defense. Good play on both ends is gonna help you on the opposite side. You completely control how hard you try on the court or field or whatever. And stay positive, keep a clear head. Yeah, that's easier said than done, especially from someone like myself. But there's no real way for me to explain this one. It's just a mindset you have to force yourself into, and once you really dig in, it will do you unlimited favors. Another thing I do for my dome is waking up early in the morning. Well, yes, part of it is so I can do this. The other reason I wake up early is the serenity and productivity I feel in the morning. If you're up and getting shit done before most of the world is even out of bed, it's a huge confidence boost and it just puts you in the right mood for the rest of the day. But don't sacrifice your sleep either. If I'm waking up at 5 the next morning, I'm asleep by 10:30. Your sleep is crucial and it's almost criminal how neglected it is in today's world. But that's a different video for another day. What happens when you cap all this off with a healthy diet? Don't get me wrong, when you're starting out trying to limit what kind of shit you put into your body, it can be hard. I would straight up eat everything and I wouldn't gain weight, but I would feel and perform like shit. I cut out as much sugar as I could, started hydrating better, started eating more protein and carbs, and even simple changes like that made a big difference to me. Sugar is the big killer for most people. It's absurd how much of that garbage we add to food and how little it takes for it to be damaging to your body. Soda is straight up poison. I and the majority of my friends have already stopped drinking it. I avoid lemonade and juice and stuff like that as much as I can. Sugary cereals are a big no. Don't start your day off like that. Obviously, you're not going to be able to 100% stop eating sugar and stuff like that, but even limiting yourself a little bit can make a massive difference. Sodium is another one that we need to be more careful of. Fats are in pretty much everything we eat too. If you can avoid using butter in a pan and just use normal oil or cooking spray or something, do it. Every little thing can make a difference, so just cut the shit out when you can. But a little bit here and there won't kill you. After a while, you won't even feel a desire for that stuff anymore because of how great eating right will make you feel anyway. And that should do it for our health triangle. Hey, it's been a while. And I have my reasons for that. I would just blame it on work, but that isn't the whole story. My hours have been getting more manageable, but the other reason I haven't uploaded in a bit is because I've been focusing on myself a bit more. I wanted to take some time to really improve myself and come back to this channel as a better player and a better content creator. Like some Naruto time skip type of shit. Except it'd just be a few weeks instead of a few years, you know. This footage is old, so there shouldn't be a noticeable difference yet. I hope there isn't. And on top of that, I just wasn't in a good place for a while, and I didn't want to put that on YouTube. But I'm good now, so yeah, we're back at it. I hope. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.